Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see me? 1, 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. This one might be a little bit of a weird one. Make sure everything is rolling here. We're going to take this as we go. Obviously, we're obviously we're going to show some stuff here. I've got a mess on my desk. And we're going to get to it. I have, we're going to show some stuff on my computer here, which means I don't have chat up and stuff over there right now. But I've got chat over here. And I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using the headset mic today because there's going to be a lot of moving around and stuff like that. So hopefully it sounds okay, well enough. This is my normal mic, obviously. And I'm going to drink, and hopefully it's not too weird. Let's have a drink. All right. So my plan for today is I'll kind of take you through a little bit of what I have set up for Flight Simulator 2020. Then we'll actually get into the game. And while we're getting into the game, and you'll see this as we go forward, I will try and show you some of the stuff I captured, just a little bit of 2024 and what's going on there. I'm still, fingers crossed, working on trying to get a piece together. It's been a little tough with their schedule recently. I can't make any promises at this point, but I do have a script written and everything going, but just getting the time to piece it all together. But I will try and show you some footage of what I have in the time it takes to launch Flight Simulator 2020. All right. Yes, Mr. B says we will have at least 10 minutes while the game loads. No joke. Let's start with the hardware and let's take a look at the desk here. And I've got this other camera set up here. Now, apologies, this camera is not going to be the best, but you should get a sense of what is going on here. Let's get this camera up. Hold on 1 second. Like I said, we're going to play a little fast and loose here. I'm going to start pretty close up, but you guys will get the idea here. All right. These cameras always make everything look a little dustier than they are. You know what? It's probably this dusty. Now, I'll take any questions you have. Just give me a second to get this up. All right. Let's start with the hardware. This is the main setup here. So this is the flight yoke here. So I have, over the last 4 years, pretty much gotten the honeycomb setup and put shameful amounts of money into the setup. So this is the flight yoke here. Let's move this out of the way. I've got this USB cable here. Let's make sure this is good here. So this is the flight yoke I use. I like it a lot. It's got the ignition on the side here. You can kind of see that. Some switches underneath here. You can kind of see that. And then underneath here, these are the pedals. I just got these not too long ago, maybe like a month and a half ago. These are the honeycomb pedals. They replaced my Logitech pedals I had. And then this here is the honeycomb Bravo throttle setup. And these come off, and you replace these with different levers and whatnot, and everything you have you want to spend more money on. You can replace all of these, and these throttles kind of move up and down. And it's got some lights over there, and that's the lights, and some switches there. This is the parking brake I usually have on. And then it's got some switches here. Plenty of switches, but not enough switches, because then I have this radio panel from Logitech. And then above that, there are 3 little screens I have also from Logitech for displays there. But no, not enough panels, not enough switches. Then I bought this, which is this kind of prop mixture and throttle setup for smaller planes, which I actually really love. And this is Velcroed to the bottom of this. That's my solution for this right now because I don't have a better one. But that is the main setup there. But that is not it. And I'd like to thank, I think it was Mr. V in the chat, recommended getting a little stream deck for some of the radio stuff. And I have done that. And that is also pretty awesome. The little stream deck plus with the dials on it. So that is pretty much the hardware setup here. I'm not going to be using the, I'll take it back to me for a second here. I'm not going to be using the um, track IR today. I've kind of been not using it as much as I used to use it. But it's just one more thing that would have gotten in the way here and been kind of another mess to set up. All right. So if there are any questions, let me know. I'll look over at the chat here before we get into what the software side of things look like here. So how's the Velcro holding that? It's actually pretty light. That little box underneath here it's not very heavy. This is pretty light, and there's about 2 giant pieces of Velcro and then about 3 command strips underneath it. But it's actually lighter than it looks. It's pretty much all hollow. It's not super duper heavy. Yep, there's Mr. V. I see the Stream Deck Plus. It might be my fault. That totally was your fault, but it is very good. Which one is the ejection seat? There are none. Do you have a stick or do you use a yoke for everything? No, I have a SciTech stick that I use for space stuff and other fun flying things. But for flight sim, I mostly use the yoke. So to get everything running, this is going to be a bit of nerding out here. We're not going to get into the game quite yet. But to get everything running here, let's take it over to the nonsense here. I'm going to show you some of the software stuff I use to communicate with this. Let's take it to here. So this is the Stream Deck Plus software, and this is a profile I bought that had a bunch of avionics stuff in it. But really, for the plane I fly, I only use 2 or 3 things on here. So this is the Garmin 430 and the Garmin 530 are the pieces of software in the plane I use a lot. So I have basically just focused on that. And you can see these are all blank down here right now, and these will fill in a little bit. But you can then use the Stream Deck and its knobs to manipulate the 430 and the 530, and you'll see that when we get into the plane. To communicate with the hardware, I'm going to go over to the panel I have set up here at the end. These are the programs that I launch to play Flight Sim. So there's a bunch of stuff. Let's start with this spad.next. I'm going to click this button here. And you're going to get a black screen for a second here as this kind of loads up. And as this loads up, you will probably hopefully see, these screens start to kind of come alive here as they kind of load up there. There they go. There they go. Everything kind of loads up there on there. And this is a program I bought to help kind of manage all of these different peripherals, different screens, different whatever. And you can then go buy and get different screens. I have spent a lot of money already, so I don't buy too many different screens, but this is nice because you can go and change the different screens you have on here pretty easily. I did buy this checklist for the Cessna, which is pretty cool. There's some other things on here, and you can kind of program these to whatever you want, so you don't have to use the default from Logitech. For the thrutter and the pedals and stuff, I mostly keep the yoke and the pedals in the game, but for this plane I'm using now, I had to go in and write some custom scripts for all these buttons, which was kind of ridiculous. And we'll get more into that as we go forward here. But we got a couple more programs to start and boot up because I'm going to make this look as ridiculous as possible. The next one we're going to load up is the thing that lets the Stream Deck Plus communicate with the game. So we need to make sure that this thing is going to communicate with the game. So we now have this up, and you can kind of see in here. I'll bring this up. This is where I sometimes test out my scripts. And I did not know this was a thing, But there is totally a thing, and programmers out there might know this, called, I think it's reverse Polish notation. And that's what these silly scripts are written in. So to get something like the light on the glare shield going, this is the script here. And it's totally bonkers to me because it's all reversed. But this is like, this is kind of doing an if. This is if statement and an else statement here for when I spin the potentiometer to lower the glare shield lighting. I had to go find this variable in the game and then set these other variables according to if it's above or below. And the notation for this was bonkers. So this was all bonkers, but it was great because now I have a lighting panel on my thing here, which these buttons here I take these scripts and I put them in here, and now I can, and you'll see these when we get in the plane, lower and raise the lights. Okay, but we're not done yet because there's still more to do. Another thing is this FS Realistic. This is basically just a program to add a little bit more realism into the game. It has things like you can download profiles for it, but it's pretty cool. Another one I bought that just adds a slightly more realistic vibe to the game, to the plane, some extra physics, a whole bunch of stuff. You'll see when we load into the game. I'll try and bring it back up. But we're not done yet. I'm going to actually move it a little faster. This will take a little longer than I thought. There's this fly-by-wire software that I bought. And we will get to the game in a second here. But this fly-by-wire software will inject, the reason I have it is to inject traffic, or to try to inject traffic into the game. And we'll start this up and we'll see that it's going to run its configuration here. We'll hit yes. The game is not running yet, but that's fine. Sorry, I meant to hit no. I'm going to close this again because I don't want to change any of the settings. It's going to take way, way too long to do all that. So this will stop. Confirm. We'll start that again because I don't want to go through any of those setting changes right now. I'm just going to hit no, and then it'll be waiting. SimConnect failed because it's waiting for the game to start. With that said, we are pretty close to starting the game now. Okay. We're almost there, folks. So we got most of this stuff up and running. We could probably close this script window here. We don't need this anymore. There is another piece of software, though, that I usually run. I probably won't use it for this stream. Before we start the game, it is called Little Nav Map. And Little Nav Map is what I used for flight planning to go around. So we have this running. This is actually a flight plan. I don't think I'm going to do it today, but I've been trying to fly actually the flight I did, not directly, but the flight I did to the Grand Canyon when Microsoft had their event for Flight Simulator 2024. Obviously, in a little Cessna, you have to make a bunch of little stops. So I was seeing, can I make these little hops and do all this fun stuff? Okay. And this is pretty great because you get kind of not necessarily everything you need, but you got a lot if you are, not clear on an airport or if you need more information. Should we start the game? I'll take any questions before we get. Do you want us to call someone? It's kind of a lot. Now, people who have played Flight Sim, back me up on here. This isn't even like the most intense. This is, there's a bunch of stuff out there that I don't have in this game. This feels to me like where I'm comfortable at this point, but there are plenty of people who play Flight Sim who could probably acknowledge that this is like okay. Vinny, is a real game playing Flight Sim or playing with the add-ons? That's a great question. Bobby Safa says, yeah, this is kind of baby level for Flight Sim nerds. Totally. So, there's things like real air tower control stuff. There's things like that sim. There's all these other things. This is where I'm comfortable doing it, and I think it gets the realism and the fun where I want it. Let's start the game. Let's get into the game, and while that's loading, while that loads, let's take a look at maybe some of the footage I have. So with all of this stuff going, I I've also got a bunch of add-ons from the community in my community folder for Flight Sim, which it's going to have to go through and make sure it's all good. Some extra planes that are outside of the game. There's a community folder that you have that you just shove a bunch of stuff into. And while the game loads, it's going to, I assume, be going through all of that stuff and all of the add-ons. And you're going to get a sense of just how long this monster takes to start up here. So I'm going to launch it now. Let's get this up on this screen for here. Let's bring the music up so you can hear the annoying Flight Sim music that you will absolutely get sick of. And this is just the launcher to launch the launcher. So let's bring this back over, and you can kind of see this starting up here. There it goes. We'll take this desktop down so we can get the actual game going in a second here as soon as it pops up. There it goes. Here is the game getting ready to launch. And while that happens, I will pull up some videos here and try and find some stuff from my trip. So give me 1 second. I will mute the, don't worry, I will mute the loading audio. I just want to kind of give you a sense here of what's going on. My laptop went to sleep. 1 second while this, enjoy this. All right, here we go. So the game is loading up here. You'll get really used to this music as the game loads. I am going to mute this music because I am absolutely sick of it. But while this happens, let's boot up some footage from Flight Sim, and hopefully this works here. There you go. There you go. So this is Flight Sim 2024. I'll get some audio on here. So I'm just going to scrub around here because mostly what I did was the pilot's training stuff, the career mode. So let's just roll back here. This is your create a pilot. And if you want, we can keep a little bit of this in the background just so you can see that the game is still loading back there. Here's your pilot creation stuff. I'm still trying to put the whole piece together. You don't need to see the whole thing. Here's the trailer for the career mode. This was me trying to pick an airport, and this is where I started getting a little worried with the streaming in of some stuff. So you can see as I'm zooming in and out of the map, I was a little worried, like, is this stuff actually going to load up? As I got in closer, some of the assets didn't seem to come all the way in very quickly. But I'm not sure what that was all about. I was trying to pick here to start my career in Newark Airport, but it wouldn't let me actually start there because I wasn't certified for basically that big an airport. So I wound up having to start in a smaller airport over here. So let's the cool thing, and one of the interesting things, I think this was from a Flight Sim 2024 developer thing, is they used to have two different maps, this world map and then the actual game map. And now I think they've combined them and they use the same map. So as you'll see here, as it loads in, you're actually just zooming into the game here, which is kind of a cool thing to do now. Before, the world map, when you picked your flights, and you'll see that when we get into the game eventually, was separate. I believe this was in a developer thing, panel. From the flight material, the flight assets. So it's loading in here. You can see in the corner here. And for the sake of time, we'll just skip a little forward here. But you do just kind of zoom into the airport. Let's see if I can show that actual zoom in. There it is. You can kind of see it. And there's our airport. And here's the beginning of our career mode.
Welcome to the apron. This is where all our flying.
So this is kind of awesome because this is where you're outside of the plane, and this is new for Flight Sim. And this is great. So you can't really do this in 2020, at least out of the box. You can't do this. There are some mods to try and get you outside the plane, but now you can do pre-checks outside of the plane, so you can check things like the static port cover, and they'll kind of take you through here. This is me going through settings to make sure that my controls are all set up. Skip through some of that. But you can go through and check the cover, pitot heat cover, all this stuff outside of the plane, which is kind of awesome and kind of a big deal. So that's
aboard.
maybe one of the biggest new things aside from the career mode. And here I am inside the plane, and we just do kind of a takeoff here, and this is mostly flight sim 2024 stuff or 2020 similar. I mean, some of the models and the dynamics have changed, but here we'll meet our flight instructor, I believe.
And this might be the first chapter in your pilot's journey? If you want to embark on it, let's catch up at headquarters.
Now, the voice stuff is terrible. This stuff is terrible. I'm not gonna lie. All of the like text-to-speech is pretty bad.
You seemed comfortable out there. There's a laptop.
I skipped most of it. We were on kind of a time crunch to play the game here. So this is the career mode again, and I went straight for certification.
Here you can see all the specific license certification. Your first step is to work towards your private.
I have heard the ATC stuff is better than maybe this stuff is, but I can't confirm that. So here you are in the career mode, and I want to go pay my 10,000 creds to go take this license here. And you can get money by doing jobs and doing odd jobs, doing flights and stuff like that, working for working for this company, and then you eventually hopefully yourself as you kind of build an empire here. Oh, the game loaded. Okay, the game loaded there. Before we get into it, I'll just show you kind of what that looks like. You do the certification. You do a loop around the track here, and I did that, and I did get certified for this plane, though I didn't get like an A+ in it. So I'm just going to kind of skip forward here because, again, a lot of this stuff is pretty similar to what 2020 is, at least on the surface. So there it is. I passed. I'm a pilot now. There it is with a B. B good enough. And I did it, and then we go back to headquarters.
Allowing you to fly recreationally and perform first flight missions, taking people on tours around the local area.
So these are the kind of the jobs you can take in it. And, you know, you go out and you go pick a job, and you fly some people around. And this was me. I picked the job, and it was fly a dude around, and you make some money. And you do a bunch of other stuff. Let me see if I can get the tech tree in this footage. If not, we're going to jump right into the game because hopefully we'll get there it is. You basically have this tree here.
To build up your flight hours.
Let's go back to get different certifications, to do different things. We want to do helicopter flights and all of that stuff. All right. Should we take it over to the game? Actually, before we get over to the game, I'll show you that. Let me show you the. I have footage from the Grand Canyon. That's fun, and that's before we jump in here. Let's bring that up here. So the only problem with this footage from the Grand Canyon, which I think is a lot of fun, is the color space is going to be wrong on it. So it's going to be a little blown out. So apologies for that. But you can see. So here, I'll bring up this photo first. I believe this is me in front of the helicopter. Let me see if I can open this easily here. Bop. Open it with this. I don't have to switch back and forth here. Look at me. So this is a helicopter we were in at the Grand Canyon, and that's the pilot there. So there were other people in the plane or the helicopter with us, but that is the helicopter that we were in over the Grand Canyon. And then let me get the video here. This is the footage of flying over. So I'm in this helicopter with two other people. I'm in the front seat. And again, this is kind of blown out. The color space isn't right in this player, but you can see you just fly right over this motherfucker. And my stomach just dropped out from underneath me, and so did everybody else in the plane. You can see me kind of wobbling here. And I don't like heights, but this was kind of awesome. And I made it through. But yeah, I was filming with the camera down, and then I kind of had to look away. Kind of had to look away for a little bit because that was really intense. And again, most of the flight up there, you're kind of over these trees here, and then it's just blah, no more ground. Just no more ground. And here, I'll put the volume up because you could hear the people in the helicopter and myself exclaim here. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, let's get back into the game here and let's start looking at some of this stuff that we have now. So, let's go back over to here because now you're going to see everything start to come alive on the desktop here. So, if we turn on the desktop capture, you can kind of see now this stuff has kind of come alive as it's communicating with the game. So we're going to have these knobs and everything are actually getting information from the game, which is kind of awesome. And these will be, these numbers here and stuff like that will be representative of what's in the game as it pulls in all of these variables that are running from the game. So let's pick a plane and we'll even get more complicated here. So let's just go to the world map. That's not the game. That's OBS. 1 second. This. So we got a lot of windows here. There we go. That's the game. All right. So there is every chance that this thing will just totally crash. It has happened before. This is the plane that I bought that I use, and it's really hard to go back. So I'll actually load up a plane, their model of this plane, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk that comes with the game. And then I bought this WSIM one, which I think is awesome. It's more realistic. So let's just go into one of these that's pretty similar here, like this. And I'll load this up and we'll just kind of get in there. And we'll just start here. We'll start here. And this is a flight that I just do pretty quickly here. So this is from Teterboro Airport in New Jersey to Republic Airport on Long Island, which is close to where I grew up. It's a pretty quick flight, and we'll just load in. While this loads up, any other questions here? Hopefully there's some flights. It sounds like there's some flights and people in the chat too, if they can answer any questions there. Vinny, did someone puke in your chopper? No. Someone did throw up on the trip, but I think they have talked about it, but I felt it though. So the weirdest thing that almost made me throw up was, I guess I'll use this as an example, my mic here. You have headsets on and you have to keep the microphone very, very, very close to your mouth. And I guess they sanitize it. So it's like a really strong scent of sanitizer that you're just like inhaling. And that actually made my stomach kind of wobbly there. All right, so this is the Cessna we have here. So I've got some other stuff going on that's loaded up. If you see stuff popping up on the screen, this is another piece of software that I have that says we can't find ground services here. Normally there's a menu up here. I changed that out for this radial menu that I can use here. Let's get in the plane. Fly. So I've got this radial menu that pops up, and I'll just turn these ground services off because they are not at this airport. I find this radial menu to be a lot better than the stock menu that comes up there. This one is pretty cool, and you can kind of add in a bunch of custom things to all of these little buttons here. Pretty nice, pretty convenient, and you just bring it up with a tab. I find that's one of the cool upgrades that I have seen. Okay, so here is this plane here. This is the kind of Cessna. I think this one might come with the deluxe edition. But here are the things that are connected to that radio. Here are the Garmin's, the 530 and the 430. So let's bring this up if you can see it. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn these on over here on my side. I'm just going to turn the battery on, and then I'm going to turn the avionics on. Just flicking switches over here. And so these are going to light up. And the nice thing about now having the Stream Deck Plus is all of these things would be controllable with the knob. So I don't have them programmed for this plane, and I'll show you. I'm going to switch planes in a second. But as these come on, here's what you kind of have to do when you do it manually: is fiddle with these knobs here and touch a bunch of the knobs. And it's not a huge deal. None of this is a huge deal. But it definitely makes it more fun for me to push buttons. I love pushing buttons. So here's where you program your flight plan in, and this would be used for following your flight plan, your autopilot, and can read from that too. And here's the autopilot down here. But on this plane here, you see none of these things are clickable, right? None of these are clickable. Are these clickable? These are clickable. So these are those panel brightness things. Let me see if these work with my setup here. Yep. No. Okay. Yep. They're for the other plane, and I'll go show those in a second. This is clickable. Okay. Good there. And this version is fairly easy to start up. So you just kind of pop the fuel here down there. You've got your throttle here. And so on these, they screw in, and you can get really fine control over your mixture, which is nice. So there's a button here you push to move it in and out, but then they actually screw in to kind of get fine control over your throttle. Sorry, your mixture. So I think this one is fairly easy to start. We'll just try and start it. I don't even know if you have to prime this one, but we will give it a try here. So we'll pop the fuel pump for a second there. Look, I'm not a pilot, so don't get me. Please don't judge. But you check to see if you're getting fuel flow there. I don't think it's that big a deal on this version of the plane. Turn the key. Let's just watch the propeller here and get on here. Get on here. And probably want to put the parking brake on, but I think this is all set up for a different plane. And that's that's it for this to get up and running. So I wanted to show this because I might have problems starting that other plane. And so we could pretty much just take off from here. We turn the alternator on. I could probably make it. Probably get up to speed before we can get here. It's gonna be tight. There we go. Look at that. Perfect takeoff. By the books. We're good. And we'll just go around for it. That's how they want you to do it. So we'll just go around and try and land this very quickly. Nobody's yelling at us from air traffic control, which is great. And then I'm going to load up a different plane, which I have most of this stuff set up. Let's see how quickly we can land this thing. The nice thing about not setting your radios to air traffic control is they can't yell at me. Nobody can reach me. All right, we're gonna land this like we took it off with reckless abandon. Let's see if we can find the runway here. very fast. And my flaps are not mapped to this plane, so this is going to be a very fast and rough landing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Folks, here we go. Oh, this. Oh, here we go. What am I finding? Well, you know, honestly, I've had worse. Okay, there it is. Oh, ditching it. There it is. There it is. You want to hit those brakes. Perfect. And right back, right back in the parking lot, just like everybody. So this is that's generally it for this plane here, and it's pretty good, and I like it a lot. But let's bop out and show the plane that I spend most of my time flying here. So let's go back to the main menu. That's how you do it, and that's how you do it. And I'll switch it to nighttime because night flying or dusk, because I do like all the lights and stuff that I spent a long time trying to get mapped over here. So all of these quadrants here these are what I used to use. These things where I'll show you what the box looks like. I kind of have it here. Sorry, I've got a lot of keyboards and stuff. So the Honeycomb comes with these two boxes. These are the knobs you can put on there for kind of your general flight stuff, and you kind of just take these off and pop them on, and then you kind of have your throttle and your mixture and stuff on there. And then it also comes with a set of like commercial stuff for like your 747s and whatnot. I don't fly a lot of that stuff. I know a lot of people do. That stuff is really intense as well. That's where you have, and that's where people get third-party things too, to like have the whole quadrant here, or the reverse. I think it's the reverse things that flip up. It's intense. I'm telling you, people. This might look like a lot if you're not playing flight sim, but people get really, really. And maybe we'll watch a video after. Really intense. So I'm gonna go to this WB sim plane and just kind of show you a little bit of the difference here. We'll go back to Teterboro. We'll go back to just any parking here. We'll go to Republic. Maybe we'll fly this one too. And we'll load this up, and I will change it to kind of. So this is live weather. Boy, I wonder if it's kind of dark, but I wonder if you can probably live weather over the Gulf Coast right now. It's probably pretty nasty. I know some people do that stuff too, and one of the go seek out just kind of extreme weather events when they're flying. But the thing that they're adding to Flight Sim 2024 is a rewind for weather. So I think you can go back 24 hours into live weather, which I think is kind of awesome. To be able to be like, oh man, yeah, like there was a thunderstorm or something that happened. I was at work, but I would love to fly around that or practice in that or like do something in that. And I believe that you can go back, I think 24 hours to live weather data, which could be cool. You know, not everybody can play in the middle of the day for work, obviously. So let's go and take a look at this plane. Now, this is one that was third party. It's not in the store here. But you can buy planes. Let me turn everything off here.
Restored.
And you can bring them in, so you don't have to just get stuff that's inside of the plane. So some of this wind you can hear and stuff like that, you'll hear like clonking around. Some of that's coming from that FS realism. So if you look outside the plane, sometimes you'll hear the pilot coughing. Let's see if I can bring that here. It's probably not worth switching over to, but you have all these different profiles that you can get into. But here's the outside of the plane. And the thing I like about this plane is it does have a little bit of the pre-flight checklist stuff that is on this device here. Now, this is normally not, this is like breaking the fourth wall style thing. This is a persistent plane that tries to mimic engine health, how much oil you have in it. You can turn realism on or off for this plane, and you kind of navigate the game menus from here. From here. And here you can check if you've got your tie downs on, your wheel chocks on, and that's what I was kind of wanted to show here. Are they actually on? It would be tough to see. Here, let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see them. The wheel chocks, the tie downs there. The pitot heat cover is there. And that's stuff that's in 2024 by default, but most planes don't have this stuff. And this is just kind of how you have to do it here. So you just kind of click on these to take this stuff off here. And in 2024, you actually walk around the outside of the plane and do your pre-flight checklist like that. So the other thing here is, like I said, it's got engine health, this plane, and realism on, and you can kind of check the oil here. And it saves the state of the plane. So if you're messing around with this plane, come down with hard landings, you can mess up your undercarriage and, really, really take yourself in a bad way. The other really nice thing I love about this plane is these fuses are all clickable. So you can actually pop these fuses out, these breakers, and as part of your pre-flight check, you would be checking these to make sure they're all in. So mid-flight here, you can pop the flaps breaker, and your flaps will go out. One of these is the battery one. This will let you get a recharge on your battery. And then, like I said, I might have some trouble starting this plane up, just because I'm not that great at it. And you'll see on this plane when we start up, the dials and stuff will vibrate. There's just they've taken their time with this plane to kind of make it a little more realistic on everything. But this is the plane that I have the most stuff mapped on. So let's turn this flashlight off and try and do this as much as possible and see what I have forgotten to map over on my controls here. So we'll turn on the battery, and I'm probably going to burn through the battery before we even start the plane up. But that's the battery there. We'll turn the avionics on. And if we go look over here at our avionics, you kind of should be able to see if everything's working correctly. These knobs, there they are. They turn, I'm turning them on the Stream Deck here. So there's an inner and an outer knob, and you can kind of see them now turning there. Which is awesome, which I find awesome. You'll be able to see the buttons push, and you can control it from this Stream Deck, which is pretty nice here. Barometric pressure, and so let's go back over here and mess around with the lights because there's nothing else. These are just fun too. So I've got these mapped to my Stream Deck knobs here. Those are the panel lights. These are the radio lights here. This is the glare shield, and that is the lights. Oh, it's the pedestal lights. It should be down there. Yep. And then I've got cabin lights that I have up there, and I basically just put those cabin lights all the way on or off. These over here. If we need them. And who doesn't like just pushing buttons and turning the lights on? Let's see. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing at least started up here. So we've got the avionics on. We've got. Let's go outside because it's always just fun to see. We'll turn on our beacon. We'll turn on our taxi lights. Again, not a pilot. I just like pushing switches. Turn all the lights on here. Got all those. We're turning on heat here. Go back inside. Turn up these lights here because I can't see anything. Here. So what usually happens to me in this plane is you get like 1 or 2 starts and then I need to recharge the battery which you could do in the game. I'm sure I talked to Drew about this. He said he's never had to do it. But on this plane, if I don't get it in the first 2 starts, the engine to turn over, I usually need to get the battery restarted. So we're going to try and do that here. So we need to make sure the fuel valve is pushed in. And let's just get this thing started up. Parking brake is on. And let's see, here we go. So we're going to prime it for a little bit here. I forget the exact prime procedure, but really I think what you want to do is make sure there's some fuel flowing here. So let's just try it. Okay. Let's hope that works. And let's see if we can get this thing started up. Again, if you are way into this, apologies if you're like, oh, this guy.
Trim in motion.
Hopefully, let's do this and go. Okay, so we might actually have a battery problem already. Let's just double check battery. So it's at 72%. I just have this button here that puts it back up to 100. Let's just try that again.
Trim in motion.
There it is. There it is, folks.
Trim in motion.
I don't know why we're getting a trim motion. Where that's coming from. Autopilot.
Trim in motion.
Oh, autopilot is on. Let's turn it off. All right, let's try that again. Like I said, this one's a little tougher to start up. Put more juice here. Nope. No, no. Okay. I think I might have gone through my battery already. I am not that great at starting this one. Come on, baby. Oh, that's... No, no. Maybe we did not prime this well enough here. Let's give this a juice up. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Okay, come on, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna start with a fresh battery on here. And if anybody's a pilot out there, I'd love to know if this is like a, you know, maybe a little aggressive on the battery juice, or be like, oh no, this is a thing. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna flood this thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. And I'm just going to keep resetting this battery on here, because really, if it's not at 100%, I probably have no chance of getting it. Just make sure everything is good here. Fuel valve is in. Mixture. That's there. Put the mixture in. Start. There. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again. 1/4 inch out. Come on, baby. Pop it. Oh, boy. We get another one out of us? No. Okay. I'm gonna force it. Here we go. Full throttle. Times. There it is. There it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's running rough. There it is. Oh. This is what the joys are about. Ooh. That one's a little tougher. That one's a little tougher. Let's try not to kill it. I'm gonna let it run. Run for a second here. Our cabin lights are going bananas. One of these lights is... I'm not sure which switch it is. Something is. I can hear it clicking. Who is clicking? All right, let's turn the alternator on. That'll help probably. So just draining the battery. Let's go over to here. Let's hit the panel lights, the glare shield. Just having time over here. All right. I think we're good. All right. I'm gonna just wait for them. Sorry, I'm waiting for this to actually warm up a little bit. All right. Just make sure everything's good. Looks like the flaps are going. There. Before we get started, any other questions? Before we start contacting the tower and do a little takeoff here. Good question from Slushy Fun. Not a pilot here, but why would you have an option to turn the alternator off? Why would you ever want it off? It's a great question. I'm not a pilot either. But there is obviously a switch to turn the alternator off. I have, and you know, when you start it up, you usually start up without the alternator on. So you know, I'm not sure. Why are lights? Let's see. Can I pop a fuse? Breaker? So hopefully our battery's charged now. Oh, our battery's dead. Battery's better now. That'll do it. Oh, I've still got... That's what I'm clicking. So some of the hardware controllers here have a spring that loads this ignition back to the magnetos to both. Mine does not, so you have to do it manually. All right, so we got the barometer. Let's pop that in. Let's call home here. And so we can go turn our ATC on. I don't remember the tower, the radio signs here. Stuff. So let's go. Tune to 121. So you can tune it from here. 121. If you can see them, just tuning it on here. You probably can't, but 900. Here. It's down a little bit. Do you find yourself mostly flying around places you're familiar with in real life or places you've never been? I do a mix of both. You know, like I kind of fly around Jersey a lot in this kind of route because when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna practice for real. Here I go. I'm gonna really pretend I'm doing this. I'll do around Jersey. When I'm just kind of goofing around, they'll go all around, you know, Asia and Europe and stuff like that. I think that's kind of awesome as well. All right, so we're going to switch over to ground here. We're going to request, we'll just go out to the east. Just click here. Usually I put this on the other monitor.
Peterborough ground, Cessna Kilo Delta 2, Quebec Zulu Victor with Whiskey request taxi for takeoff east departure.
Cessna Kilo Delta 2, Quebec Zulu Victor taxi to and hold short of runway 6.
Oh, I've got this coming out. So when I play, I have this coming out of a different device, so you probably can't hear it super well. I do the airplane sounds coming out of my speakers because I'm a dork, and then I put the air traffic control in my headphones. So I probably have to just go in and change that. Not a huge deal. All right, so they want us to go short of runway 6. I'm going to pump this over to the runner and get this out of here. And then tune in the tower. So let's go give that a try, shall we? See how much we can get in trouble here. So, whoops. Runway 6. Hold short runway 6. Okay, so this is where that little nav map thing comes in. Because, like, if you don't know the airport, finding runway 6, there is a taxi ribbon, but sometimes the taxi ribbon, like a breadcrumb trail, but that is sometimes not super helpful here until you start moving. So let's putting my parking brake on, my brakes on with my feet, parking brake off here. Slow this down a little bit, and let's take a look here. And this is where the track IR sometimes comes in more handy. But let's look for runway 6. There's only 2 runways at this airport. So it should be 2. Fine night for flying, folks. Again, not a pilot. Okay. That's the whole short line, just blew right past that. Looking for runway 6, it's 19. We are going the wrong way here. They do cross over each other. Let's run. I'm doing this very, very loosey-goosey. This is runway 19. We're gonna take off. I think we're just gonna take off. So normally if I were playing this for real, I would go searching around for the runway. I'd have my map up, and I wouldn't just run onto the wrong runway here. But again, not a pilot. Playing for fun. They might not like this, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, they don't like this. They're not giving me clearance here. So let's go see if we can. You guys hear the air traffic control coming on? So I don't know if you guys remember, I did stream with Drew at some point, and he told me a thing which I thought was super interesting, and it turned out it's true. The runways are all based off of their magnetic compass alignment. So runway 1, runway 1 and runway 18, which is actually 19, are just 180 degrees across from each other. So that's why runway 6 and 24 share it. I thought that was really interesting. Flying a lot. Just a lot. Somebody wanted to ask if I would ever try and get my pilot's license. First of all, I'm not sure if they would let me, being colorblind. Second of all, it's a lot. So just kind of cruising here. Probably take the next exit here. Trying to keep an eye on the signs. Let's do this without tipping the plane over. Yeah, we're gonna cut across the grass. Because we are. So we're on L. We got F and Q. F and Q. What's over? Oh, I think I saw a sign over there. For what we got? 624. Okay. Whoop. In the dirt. So that means I'm on L, and we're coming up on 6 and 24 here. Okay. This is where they want to stop. Right. All right, I'm going to request clearance.
Teterboro Tower Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor, ready at runway 6 East departure.
Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor wind tree 2 tree at Niner. Traffic is Bombardier on final.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna put the I'll put the ATC back on here so that you can hopefully hear better. Okay.
Quebec, Zulu, Victor, acknowledge last transmission.
Knowledge.
Cleared for takeoff runway 6 Cessna Quebec Zulu Victor.
Oh, you guys are just getting that screen up there. How long have you been getting that screen?
Teterboro Tower Bombardier November 424 Quebec Sierra.
That's the wrong screen.
Inbound ILS Zulu
Okay.
runway 6 approach. Bombardier November 424 Quebec Sierra Teterboro Tower.
That's weird. Is that since I popped that out? Geez, sorry about that. Hold on. It's gonna get weird for a second.
Zulu runway 6 approach.
Gotta get to the yes and figure out why it is not capturing this.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 6 approach Bombardier for Quebec Sierra.
That's weird. It's not. It's in the window. Sorry, give me a sec. I just have to pop that back in. Bummer. Okay, let me just pop this air traffic control window back in. All right. This takes up so much room. It's such a bummer. I'll just stick this over here. I mean, we could try and do it. We really won't need it that much. So I am cleared, I believe, to take off, which is fine. We'll go take off. Sorry about that window. All right, so let's do it. So it was runway 6. We're taking off. So if it's runway 6, I believe we want to go this way. Even though it looks like it's that way, that means I think it's running that way. So let's, if I am right, I believe we want to make a right coming up here.
Cleared to land runway 6 Bombardier for Quebec Sierra.
Again, people who know what they're doing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I can't see any of this stuff. Okay. All right. Let's take off. Bombardier, this plane here should not have, they did not tell me to hold short. They gave me, did they not give me permission here? Oops, sorry, I was having trouble here. Teterboro Bombardier to the 8 miles southwest inbound runway 6 approach. Oh boy. Yep, nope. There's somebody supposed to be landing here. We better get the hell off of this runway before we get landed on. They're gonna get mad, but let's take off. All right, so we're gonna go. This is a very long runway, so I don't think we'll need flaps. Put them up. Let's just go. Got this. Sorry, I'm just checking all my stuff here. I think we're good to go. Let's go. Oh gosh. Or it's extremely windy. That's a lot. That's a lot. This is a bad takeoff. This is badly done. Poorly done. Poorly done. Maybe I should have used my flaps. Not the most graceful. Just gonna say. But looks like we are up in the air. And let's just start turning.
Cessna Quebec, Zulu Victor continue for east departure.
Teterboro Tower Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor, continue for east departure.
So this plane also, this more realistic plane also has a cool thing where the whole plane pulls. The higher the throttle, the whole plane pulls over to the left. I think from the torque of the engine, which is also pretty cool. So we're heading out east. So this is where flying and having the ability to get into my stuff over here comes a bit in handy. So I am just opening up my panels here to get my flight plan. Yikes! Look up, Caravel. Go. 430 going. Down. And I believe we should have a flight plan on. Let's just. Yep, so we're good there. So, Caravela's adventures in the autopilot. Let's see if we can get it going here. We're going to see if we can autopilot this. Put autopilot on. Set the altitude here. Yelling at me for sure.
Cessna Quebec, Zulu Victor, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Right, let's assume 1 is acknowledged.
Teterboro Tower Cessna Kilo Delta 2, Quebec Zulu Victor frequency change.
Altitude.
Yeah. But let's see. Ooh, that is a vertical speed. Alright. Oh, sorry. Let's go to something that's goofing up here a little bit. Figure it out without crashing this plane. Let's pull the breaker and restart it. That's why I like having the breakers. Yeah. We didn't call ATIS, so we don't know what the barometric pressure is, but we'll be fine. Good there. I mean, not that we necessarily needed this flight. Not terrible at all. Right, there it
Leaving altitude.
is. Track. Having a co-pilot. My daughter sometimes will co-pilot with me, which is super duper fun. Too high. I'm sure I'm missing something done. Alright, well, let's stay east for a little bit. I'm gonna fly this one solo. Who needs it? Just check Oh yeah, that trim is bugging out. Wonder why this thing is. Do your pre-flight checklist, folks. Sorry. Hold on.
Leaving altitude.
All right. Why is my trim not going down? Oh, that's gonna be forever. That's not me. Any other questions from chat? Did I put the flaps back? Great question. Let's just double check. Flaps are at 0. I don't know if I didn't do takeoff flaps for that. I just popped them back up. They are all the way up. I think this was freaking out because my trim is set to like a billion. You can see that number in the kind of lower left there that I'm spinning the wheel is going down a little bit. Again, not a pilot, but you know, I'm pretty sure you just trim out the plane to get pressure off the stick, so you don't have to hold it like a madman all the way back. I'm not sure why it's jacked up so high. Now, all right, there we go. So let's see if we can't get to 300 feet. Or 3,000 feet. Oh, okay. Take my hand off the wheel for a second. And then we'll see if we can't get back on the course.
Altitude.
Clear to land runway 6 Cessna 9er Alpha Foxtrot.
So we are supposed to be 6. Yeah, we're supposed to be off there. Turn knobs like I didn't know what I'm doing. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's on the wrong thing.
Leaving altitude.
Heading mode. This is their heading bug down here. Kind of see it moving. There it is.
Tower Cessna November 868 Delta Mike 8 miles southwest inbound ILS Zulu runway 6 approach. Cessna November 868 Delta Mike Teterboro Tower. Altimeter tree 0.07 wind tree 28 at 8. Cleared ILS Zulu runway 6 approach.
I try and get back on track. Just see if we can do interest.
Cleared ILS Zulu runway 6 approach Cessna 8 Delta Mike.
Good. Yeah. All right, so we should stay on track here. Let's see if that'll work. I'm still learning how to do the autopilot stuff here. I've watched videos. There's a lot of like real plane stuff I've watched. I'm gonna go unlock my laptop again so I can look at any questions. But yeah, that's kind of it in the air for a little while. We just turn off our taxi and landing lights. Well, while we're flying, any other questions going on? Still armed on here, which I think means we're not intercepting our course. Again, I'm not 100% sure how this 140 works. We're just going to try and intercept this line in a second. Is there a lot to do in the air? You know, I think it kind of depends on what you're doing. Again, not a pilot, but when I fly, I've only recently started trying to work with the autopilot stuff on here. So with the autopilot off, you're really kind of maintaining your altitude, and VFR, which I believe is visual flight reference, you're kind of looking for landmarks, and you're really navigating mostly what seems like by eyeball, as far as I can tell. And then there's instrument flying, which basically you're staring like this, at all your stuff as you're flying. See, now we've caught our path here. It's going to take us back onto our line here, and should take us all the way to the. This should once it intercepts this line, follow it over. Now that it's caught our nav path again. Let's see if it does. Looks like it is turning, and should get a nice graceful turn here. So the thing I don't know yet is landing with the autopilot. I still don't do that. That's a little beyond me. But is there stuff to do in the air? Depends. One of the things I kind of want to do is try and do a flight across the world. I was talking to Drew about this. If there are any things that maybe have extra fuel tanks to get across, like the Atlantic. I don't know if they're in this game, but they might be. Chill this up a little bit. Yes, Fod says VFR you can't fly at night. That is true. They do not want you if you're only VFR rated. And there was one thing. It was a rainy day. They wouldn't even let me take off to go change my whole flight plan to instrument. So 2024 does have activities that you do. So 2024 has stuff like bush trips you could do, where you can get out of the plane, you land, and you go around. They have I think they've seen them in the trailer, like the firefighting missions, and there's cargo stuff. Those are all different types of stuff you could do. In 2020, not so much, or at least out of the gate here. You're mostly just kind of flying, for funsies. We'll continue on this path here. Let's see if I know enough about this screen to see if I can navigate to the right menu. Like I said, I'm trying to do a flight from about 2 minutes. We should be actually coming up on that airport. So, I don't have, like I said, the autopilot all figured out for how to. Oops, I did that thing again. Let me know if it bugged out. I'm going to try and tune in to our airport. Oh, yep, there it is. 118.
Republic Tower Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor is 3 miles west, 3,000 feet, with Kilo to land.
Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor Republic Tower. Altimeter tree 0.07 wind tree at 11. Make right downwind runway tree 2.
Okay. Runway 32. And this is where it would be nice to see the airport stuff on the nav map. But if we go back up here, should be on course for this airport. And that's probably it there. So, let's do it. Acknowledge.
Make right downwind runway tree 2 Cessna
Take
Quebec
autopilot
Zulu
off.
Victor.
Oh, and they gave me, I must have this turned on. They're giving me the approach line here. I'm going to minimize this so we can see. I have this turned on in settings. Where does it start? Just circle around. Again, I like pushing all the buttons. I am not a pilot, nor do I claim to be. But I have fun in here and just like monkeying around and practicing. I like to think that if I were in some kind of zombie apocalypse, could I start a Cessna 172 from a runway? Probably not. But maybe. I think I know some of the things to do. Could I fly? Could I get in this plane and take it off? I'm sure there's a billion other things that are not modeled in this game.
Leaving altitude.
But it's fun to think about. And there's just so many other planes in here to mess around with. I just kind of stick to this one because I really like it. Would I ever fly anybody? I think even if I got my license, I think I'd always be too afraid to like take my family or somebody in a plane. It's like, and maybe you just get past that fear at some point. But that'd be, I don't know. Like I talked to Drew a lot about when he got his license. It's just so much work. It's also a ton of work. Let's circle around here. Try and come back. Try and land this thing. I do find the night flying very relaxing. Like when it is nighttime in here, just kind of doing kind of a quick flight. Track IR. But it's been nice, like, you know, every year or so, kind of learning something a little new, lean out the mixture, or, you know, over the last, like I said, 4 years or so, you get more fun switches to flip, and that's always fun. I mean, it's like 10 things plugged into a USB hub at this point. Apparently I'm too fast, but I'm always too fast. This always takes too damn long. These approaches are always so long. I think they want you to be somewhere between, like around 60 knots. Come on, who's got that content? If there are any other questions, I do have the thing unlocked.
Cessna Quebec, Zulu Victor, wind tree at 1-1. Cleared to land runway tree 2.
I can look over. I am looking over. If there are any questions, if not, I'm just going to try and land this thing. I am curious for folks who do the big. Oh, sorry. This is where I should be paying attention to air traffic control. What did they actually say? Clear to land. Please acknowledge. What acknowledge?
Clear to land runway tree 2, Cessna Quebec Zulu Victor.
I'm curious, the airliner people who play this on the airliners, do you do like a 4 or 5 hour flight, or like a 7-hour flight? That to me that's intense. I usually will do like an hour maybe. says the man who wants to fly around the world. Yeah, I think the Atlantic Ocean would be a pretty intense one. Maybe there's maybe in 2024 they can model some kind of aircraft carrier for Cessnas. Use the time compression. Okay. Okay. Airliners 2 hours. All right. Let's start coming down here a bit. All right, let's see if we can do this a little better. Better than our takeoff. A little wind out there. Wibbly wobbly, maybe. I am kind of going back and forth a little bit on the rudder pedals here. Yep, no, I know, we're a little slow, It's okay, we're a little slow. You're a slow. It's okay, Just pull my nose up. That's a bad sound. All right. The big run. Yep, that's what happens with the fans. Can't stay in the air enough.
Zulu Victor, turn next taxiway.
Not terrible. What do I know? Flight sim, the most dad shit you could do, right? Alright. So far, we have not gone into the grass, which I appreciate.
Cessna Quebec, Zulu Victor, contact ground on 121.6.
121.6.
Going to 121.6, Cessna Quebec Zulu Victor.
But you know, like I said, I like pushing the buttons. We are on ground. Let's see what they want us to do. Request taxi.
Republic Ground, Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor taxi to parking.
Cessna Kilo Delta 2 Quebec Zulu Victor taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Delta 1 Delta.
Right.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Delta 1 Delta Cessna Quebec Zulu Victor.
All right, gotta bring the engine back up here so I can actually move. And after this, if anybody wants to see anything else from here, it's just kind of just more of a kind of quick tour of what I got going on, a little bit why I'm excited for 2024. You know, I think that career mode is a lot of fun. Being able to get out of the plane, I think, is a lot of fun. I am curious to see what they wind up doing with the multiplayer in the future, I would love to be able to do shared cockpit stuff with somebody else. Like have Drew in here be right next to me. One of the ideas I was talking to Bacalar about at some point was like just doing having somebody come in while we take short flights, maybe like while we make it around the world, and just have like a little conversation for an hour or so. But I think that's more fun if the two people can be in the cockpit, honestly. Just being able to turn over and have someone there. You know, it's similar to like the truck and stuff, but I feel like once you're in the air, there's really like not too much, at least for me, there's not like too much that I wind up doing. I've gotten to flights where I've gone in the air and then gone to go get a cup of coffee or something. You know, like a good pilot should. But it is fun when I have like my daughter here, and like I said, she's over there and asks me, she's like, you know, can I help? I'm like, definitely. You can tune in the radio. She runs the throttle. All right. Will custom stuff roll into the new game? That's a great question. Will my custom stuff roll into the new game? I think most of this stuff they say should come into the new game. Oh, we're just gonna park here. Will it? I'm not 100% sure. I hope so. I hope so. What's the furthest flight you've flown? I did some stuff in Europe that was pretty far. Do you guys, anybody want to see like a thing from? Here, let's turn this off. So this plane, like I said, it does have persistence, so it does pick up from where you left it. If you leave the plane on, when you turn it back on, you will look at that. No engine failure. You will have problems when you go to start it up. So I think we should be good. We're all locked down here. Great. Yeah. Anybody wanna go check out some other place while we are here? Everything is off. Everything is off. Where I can break this on. We go check out a different plane too before we get out of here. Florida? Yeah. I mean, we could see what it's like down there. I mean, shout out to all the people in Florida. I assume that storm hasn't dissipated yet. Nepal, that's fun. I've done the Antarctic. We can go check out Nepal. I wonder if the ACT chatter is different in European airports. So one of the things they said in 2024 was that they were going to have localized at least voices from the passengers and stuff you take, languages from the passengers. I'm not 100% sure if the ATC is localized. Let's check it out. Let's try it. Let's pick a spot. Where do we have Tenzin Hillary Airport in Nepal? Let's try that. That sounds fun. Let's see if that goes up. Sometimes this thing can be kind of am I typing it incorrectly? Sorry, I don't know. It's an airport, so I'm going to look over here to see. Is that right? VNLK, thank you. This one here? Oh boy, what is going on? This one? This it's the one we're looking for. Look up. Okay. Let's try it. Oh geez. Let's see what's going on here. Let's do live. Oh, we are live. Then let's not do live. Then. Come on. It's going to be very, very dark. Oh, that's a short little runway, huh? Look at that. Oh, let's just take off. Let's go morning. Wow. Yeah, let's go over here. There we go. And there's a whole bunch of different planes. We want to fly a different plane. Fly something goofy. We'll figure out how to get this thing off the ground. Something with skis on it. Those are floats. Yeah, let's put something with skis. Let's fly the Spirit of St. Louis. How hard could that thing be to start? It's max altitude 19,000. There we go. Let's do it. There we go. Great. We're gonna do this. You can't see out the front of it. That's perfect. Now let's do something maybe where we can see out the front of it. That is very funny. Let's see. We could take the Pelican up there. We could take the ornithopter, helicopter. You know, the Icon is kind of fun. What's the max altitude on that? 15,000? That's not high enough. It's just not high enough. What about one of these little guys? I've never done these. 26,000 feet. Let's try one of these. With skis on it. I'm picking. Alright, let's see if this gate parking actually works here. Let's see what happens. All right. Here we go. Let's see what I make sure everything is turned off here before we start the plane up. Oh, look at this, folks. Oh, we're gonna need a pushback. Oh, I have no idea what's happening here. All right, so we're actually gonna. As our throttles are set there. I'm gonna set this since it's not set for my plane here. We're going to do the thing. Let's go do the thing. So let's change this. I assume this is a single. I assume this is a basic single, but I'm not 100% sure. We're not going to use that. We're going to make sure this is switched over here as well. Sorry, I got a little switching around to do to make sure these profiles all work. Okay. There's a lot of noises happening. Let's drop these on and hopefully these just work here. So let's just see what happens here. So we got these. Here's our actual throttle. So maybe this is a complex. Let's go back in there. Sorry. Just figuring this one out. There it is. There it is. Okay. lot of good sounds happening there. So let's take these guys and drop now these onto here. So this one is this guy. Pop, pop. Drop this onto here. I have no idea what this plane, how it flies, or how to do it. I'll put the red guy here. All right. Let's see what they do. So here's our thrust. Here's our prop control. Cut off. That's our mixture. Well, probably could have used this as well. That's for prop control. That's it. Okay. Let's just keep those all in. That's here. All right, we're gonna give this a try. And see if we can't get this thing up. So let's see if we can get our pushback on here using our ground. Get a pushback. Too small. This parking is. You don't say. Oh boy. Maybe we can call it. You are too damn small. No, if somebody's gonna try and push me back, that'd be great. Otherwise, we're gonna be in a world of trouble here. You gotta get out of my plane, friend. Push it. You know, it's the realism that I come over for. Oh, well, they pushed us back. Just kind of hanging out. Yeah, have a little drink of water. What do we want? Straights, right? We kind of just. Oh my God, where are we? Oh, we gotta go straight and then down here. Okay, so we kind of want straights and then nose right, tail left. Maybe they could just turn. Did you get that? Oh, thank you. All right. Let's go. Let's open up the laptop. Hope everybody out there is doing fine today. Again, just kind of a chill. Whoop, we've done it. We've done a bad one. Stop. 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 Stop here. No, we're good. No, we're good. We nailed it. We're good. We are good. All right, let's start this baby up. Yep, that's how we want to do it. Now let's see. Can we figure out how to do this? Do this one. That's cool. All right. Manual gear pump. Hell, Chewbacca. Oh, this is fun. Okay. I don't mean that facetiously. Genuinely awesome. All right. All right. Let's see if we can't figure it out. Just looking for any fuel selector switches in here. Now there is a checklist you can bring up if you want to for new planes. Let's do I have that on my shortcuts? I might not have it on my shortcuts. Might be somewhere in the other menu. But sometimes it's fun just to figure them out. So we got instrument lights, ignition selector. Okay. Both left and right. Put that on both. Let's see position. Visible. Yeah, no, we'll have good engine start in just a second. Whoa, look at all these buttons! Wow. Wow, you've got so many buttons. Oh, right. What are you? That's on. Generator switch. Battery generator cover. Okay. Let's see. It's on. It's the fuel selector that I'm worried about. If there is such a thing. Maybe there's not. Because then it won't start. Oh, there. Okay. There we go. Okay. Assume we're good now. All right, let's give it a try then. Fuel pump. All right, not mapped. Map there. Let's give it a try. Lights on. Go throttle. Let's go. And we'll go full mixture, I guess. Let's see what happens. Alright, brakes sound. What is that? Something is double mapped somewhere. Let's try it. That sounds cool. We can find out what is that? What is it? What is it? Are there wipers? What is that noise? That up. So we need these up. Keto heat. Is that mapped? No. Alright. Oh shit. That engine sound. Let's turn it off. And I'll pop this up. Good lord, that sound. Some of this stuff just might not be mapped correctly. Parking brake bugging out. Well, let's like I said, I haven't mapped any of this stuff. Look at that person floating there. Let's see if we can't spin this plane around. Full throttle, that certainly doesn't seem like a lot of full throttle. This is just much. Interesting. Alright, well, we're not moving, which is a problem. like we're not getting enough juice here. If anybody knows, let me know what happens. Go away. You good? We have to tell you. Oh gosh, we're on the ground. Okay. Still not moving though. Yeah, which means we're not generally up to. I feel like it should definitely be small. It's hard to, it doesn't seem right. If anybody knows, let me know. Something might be goofed here. I mean, it could be in here. Maybe it's the ski positions? Let's try that. Maybe we gotta take these out. I don't know what this is. That seems backwards. I feel like this thing should be pulling us forward. We could definitely start from the runway. Maybe we'll just do that. Maybe we're just stuck here. Folks, we're experiencing a bit of a problem here. I'll be with you in 1 sec. Yeah, maybe we start from the runway. Teleport something from here. There is a teleport somewhere. Our battery's way low. If not, we have to load back in, which is kind of weird. Put me here. All right, let's start from the run. New plane, folks. Tiny little piece of patch of ground there. I mean, again, I don't even know if that thing started up correctly. That could also be wrong. Let's put these down. Oh, there's a light on my there's a light on my thing here that says engine fire. That's lit up on my thingy bob here. That could be a problem. But you never know. Load times. That's another thing 2024 is supposed to get better. Streaming in only what you need to stream it. let's start from, let's go back here. Stuff's. What was the airport? There it is. Start with the runway. Afternoon lights, and we will just go again. Heading here. That's runway. We're gonna fly out. Let's try. Usually they start you, so I'm gonna put the throttle up here because usually they will start you with the engine started when you start from the runway. Or the plane on at least. Like we're spooling up still? Oh, that's much better. That seems right. Alright, let's try it. How much runway are we looking at? This is the runway? What? No, that ain't right, man. Alright. Let's see what happens. Probably want some flaps on that thing. This doesn't seem like oh god, I can't see. Probably want a lot of flaps on that thing. This is like a roller coaster ride. Oh wow. Okay. That's cool. Whoa. We're kind of heading north, right? We gotta get way up there. What's it, like 20,000, right? I don't really know how complex with the. Okay, I know. It's bad. Like the propeller trim stuff. Oh, I think it crashed. I knew it was coming. I think that's a crash. Hold on a second. You can still hear me, but you can't see me because my camera is coming from that computer. Oh, that was too much. I knew it. Too high. All right. Well, here, take it from me. That's a lot of fun. But I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up. Man, just still this computer a little I don't know what's going on. Once in a while, just does the full on crash. The whole computer went down. Still got to figure it out. Not power supply, not memory. I got something, maybe something with the voltages on the cores on it. But I'm gonna get it back up here to at least the cameras, and then we'll probably sign off there. And I'm gonna put all this stuff away. Could be Windows, not Intel. It's AMD. But let me bring back up the cameras. I still need to put Windows 11 in here. I can still show you here my thigh camera. Still need to put Windows 11 back on here. Still Windows 10. So not sure if that'll fix anything. Probably needs a clean install. There's so much garbage on here, as you saw at the beginning of the stream. But that's Flight Sim. That's my current setup. I think you can get a sense of what's going on there. A lot of fun. Some people have been asking for it. Here, let me get these cameras up. No, you did not run shutdown gracefully. But you don't have to run in safe mode. Okay. That should pull the camera back in. There it is. Hot dog. Oh, it just doesn't want to push that back out, though. Hold on, it's still getting there. Let me just pull the knob out. There we go. Start this up. Pull this forward. There we go. And oh yeah, that's the business. Anywho, thanks for the good time, everybody. That's it. And then at some other point, we'll have to go through the racing wheel setup. It's very similar to what Alex had. In fact, the wheel is what Alex had, and the pedals are what Alex had. And I wound up buying the gear shifter, used gear shifter, because he kept the gear shifter when he got a new wheel and stuff like that. So, like I said, buttons. It's real fun pushing all the buttons. I really enjoy it. I have a good time with it. It's just turning the lights on and off. Actually, I had a good time scripting all that stuff too. It's very dumb, very fun. Thanks for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow with Will Smith and Alex will be here. We'll be doing some Space Marine 2. We're going to wrap that up. And maybe after we do that, we'll stick around in the multiplayer for a little bit and muck around in there. Or maybe I'll go research and see if there's some other 3-player thing that we should jump into. I'll ask Will. Maybe he's got that, was it Chain Together game? I think Alex might have that as well. So maybe I'll ask Will if he's got that one loaded up. Sounds like Will probably would have that. But one last look over at the chat here. Everybody good? Thanks, everybody, for joining me. I had a great time, and we'll be back soon. See ya.